Okay, so this video is going to be for any teachers who are using Google Classroom for the first time. Google Classroom is a way to manage files, due dates. It does things like integrate with Google Drive, so a lot of your resources that you're able to attach, you can kind of organize and keep in one place too. So what you're looking at right now is a screen full of my current classes. Now, what I've learned to do is to keep older classes and repost assignments into a lesson plan classroom. This isn't something that like Google taught me. This is just kind of like a best practice situation. And that's because you want to make life easier for you as you move along to like the next school year. In 3, these are the different sections. And then down here, you see DA1 reference, DA2 reference, DA3 references. These are all classrooms from previous years where I was probably the most organized. What I learned to do is to keep the one class where I was the most organized and just try to always constantly build on having a Google Classroom that's like pre-set up. And that's what this Visual Arts 1 lesson plan is. It has my units named out a little bit better than when I probably did this the first time. And that's just to be completely transparent. Like, what we're doing is difficult. We're trying to corral a bunch of information and as you prepare materials, it's going to be best to make sure that you're that organized. So one thing that I've also learned to do is to basically have a lot of the things planned out in Google Drive beforehand. And I'll show you why that is later in this video. But for right now, I'm just going to show you what my Google Drive side of my Google Classroom looks like. This is my motion graphics folder, the one that I've created where I keep the resources, where I'm trying to be as organized as possible on the back end, under the hood of the Google Classroom. And these are where I kind of keep the files that I would then link to in Google Classroom. And that's different from if you were to attach the attachments from your computer's hard drive. And the reason why I'm trying to do that is because in the future, I plan on just attaching these assignments and reusing them or editing them, and then that edit taking hold on all of those assignments, kind of updating the assignments live. So I've really grown to be dependent on Google Drive first. What I'll do here is I'll create a new assignment just to kind of show you what it looks like. So first, you open up your new assignment. You're able to name this assignment. I'll call this color theory practice. And here's where you can attach instructions. But what I've learned to, if you teach multiple periods throughout the day, and you see, you can post these to multiple different classrooms that you manage. But the issue with that is once you copy them, whatever changes you make to one does not happen to all of them. In Google Drive, I try to make sure that I'm organized here for some of these things named out already, like the units already. And then from there, build the links from here, because you see you have the option to upload or to create in here. And this one can get dangerous. Like if you create the Google Drive assignment, it'll only live within the folder that's in Google Drive. You want Google Drive to drive it first and then push everything out, because then Google Classroom will take care of things like emailing it to the students or adding a calendar invite or a due date to their calendar, versus you changing one assignment in Google Classroom for period 1 and then having to redo that step, period 2, period 3, period 4. So you want everything inside of this part where it says attach. Anything here should be something that you're able to kind of change once and change for everybody. And this would be the case unless you're going to do one period or one classroom for all periods. It's really just about how you want the information to live in your Google Drive. I would put the instructions in here, but in the interest of trying to have something that is more live that I could edit to make things clearer for students moving on big projects, I would actually try to have one already created in the drive, something like this. And then you would just attach it here. Here's my drive. So here's like a document that I'm working on, like the wrestling schedule or something. I could put that in there. But as this becomes more clear or new updates get made to the file, it'll happen here, as long as you're making it students can view it, not students can get a copy or can edit it. You also only get one shot unless they've improved this. I haven't played around with this year's version yet. I have seen some new tools, but this make a copy for each student option in the past or currently has only been available when you're making the new assignment for the first time. And that's important too, because if I'm adding an attachment to an assignment later, something that helps people out, or it's a new resource, and I want the students that make a copy out of it, I now lose that ability. And what's good about preparing copies for students is it automatically puts their names on it and helps them be organized on their end when it comes to the assignments as well. From there, you have options to assign this or schedule send. I like scheduling them, especially if you have some of those over anxious students that might want to complete an assignment. I'll schedule send this and then release the specific classes at different times. Like if I have this and I create this for multiple classes, I'm able to schedule it for those multiple classes or copy the settings for them to all to go out maybe at the start of the next day. And that's just to, make sure that students don't have work completed before they enter your class, if your class is meant to be experienced all in one sitting. Assignments aren't the only thing you can post. Like you also have the ability to make materials. You can build a quiz or ask a question to the entire class or reuse a post. And again, this one becomes kind of my most used one, because what I do is I try to have some lesson plans created in a class first before I release them. Create new topics. A topic is just like a way to organize the different assignments. I've tried this with months or with units or with big projects. I think big projects work the best for my space for art, but you could do quarters. Really is just a way to organize the assignments within. And I think that's just important for when kids want to play catch up. To summarize, my video is about reposting and utilizing Google Drive inside of Google Classroom and my strategy at future-proofing my classrooms so that I may continue to use them moving forward.